everybody, this is John, also sometimes known as Father John. I'm here with Mike of SJC Drums today. We're here to do a rig rundown of Frank Zummo's beautiful blue and red maple SJC kit. Let's go ahead and take a look.
What do we got here? Like, what's your favorite part of the kit?
Right now, my favorite part of the kit has got to be the Obey snare drum you guys built for us.
Yes.
I've got a hard-on for brass snare drums, honestly. I really love brass snare drums. I have a brass cat at home, it's a Mapex brand, but I can't tell you how beautiful this particular brass drum sounds. Not used to getting real deep tones out of them, but this thing just sings in a way that I'm not used to.
Amazing.
So it's got to be my favorite for sure.
Heck yeah. So what's the process like for you, especially on these huge shows that Sum41 is doing? Like, what's your day look like?
Okay, so my day starts, we obviously dump the truck first. My goal is to get this thing as built as possible. Some days I don't have the room to get this behemoth around the set, which means I got to break it apart and build it in place. That's never a fun day. But generally, I come in, I start with my hardware, get the kicks on, assemble the whole dang thing. I've got a front of house guy, Matt, who comes in and starts putting mics and triggers on the kit, and he'll help me wire it. From there, I do a quick tune job, always a temporary one to start, make sure I get good tones and line check. And then as we get closer to showtime, I'll also go ahead and do a final, like, real fine tuning on all the drums. Every couple days, I gotta swap out drum heads. We try and get 2 to 3 shows each out of the tom batter heads and the UFO drum. Kick drums surprisingly last almost the whole tour.
Amazing.
Yeah, and snare drum, we have duplicate snare drums, and I try and swap out snare drums every other show.
Okay.
So that the heads, when I replace the drum heads, that they have time to stretch.
Stretching, cool.
Yeah.
What are some of those tips and tricks that you've learned for tuning, just making the job easier for a drummer that might not have a tech?
All right.
What are some of those things you think is important?
Consistency is key, and don't ever neglect the resonant heads. A lot of people decide that they tune it once and they never have to tune it again. Can't tell you how untrue that is.
Yeah.
It's really about getting, especially for sound guys, I've had good tones or bad tones, it just needs to be consistent from day to day. Good tones are great, but sound guys are going to be more happy with it just being the same from day to day. And in order to do that, I've got 2 tools that I use that are basically my bread and butter. On the toms, I like to use the digital tune bot. And for this particular drum kit, I've got the rack tom singing 100 hertz, the middle tom 75, the floor tom 60.
Cool.
And that is just a way to make sure that it's the same every day. I know the drum likes that pitch. As long as I get it to match that every day, we're going to be happy.
Awesome.
The snare drums are a little bit harder to tune by ear, so I actually use a pressure gauge. Drum dial makes a digital PSI gauge. And on Frank snare drums, I do 94 PSI on top and bottom. It's a little bit higher than recommended, but the brass can actually stand that. I do have triggers that I use mostly for mic, cool technique to use for mic gate openings.
Yep.
On this drum kit, we use them mostly for sound replacement. However, the drums have been sounding good enough acoustically that we use the triggers less and less. It's more of a oh shit scenario.
Got it.
A microphone fails, the PA just isn't behaving. Sometimes we need that little extra.
Yep.
And to do that, I've actually got off stage over here. All the triggers will run into this 1/4-inch cable here.
Cool.
And the back of the TD50 brain. This is
awesome.
This is one of my favorite things we've had to use over the years. It is kind of an essential piece of gear if you're running triggers these days. Yeah, I mean, you can literally do everything with this stuff.
Awesome.
We're going to soon be upgrading to the SPD Pro.
Yep.
It helps a lot with keeping set lists organized. There's a lot more memory banks in those things these days. Man, I'm a big fan of the hardware racks. I don't often get to use them that much, but it makes this way easier to set up every day. Everything's memory locked into place.
Yep.
And of course, we've also got the Porter and Davies throne over here. Let me go ahead.
That's amazing.
Let me figure out how to get up here. Alrighty. So over here, we got the Porter and Davies throne. Very famous for being a subwoofer inside of a throne, so I can, instead of having to put a big ass speaker on here behind them and worry about feedback and all that, this thing just shakes them for all the kick drum notes.
Yep.
Another thing I really love about this kit, everything's got Zummo's name on it. Drum heads, rims, the hardware pieces, all of it's customized. His freaking stick carriers well, these sticks are covered with grip tape, but they have a signature on. Yeah. Everything is identifiable as Frank's, and I can't imagine not having that on any other kit for me.
That's awesome.
It's just awesome to just see your name everywhere.
Yeah, incredible, dude. All right, man, thank you so much for taking the time to show us, your world.
Yeah, man, thank you.
Keep doing what you do, man. I appreciate your support of SJC and all the family.
Man, you guys make it easy to look good and sound good, so I appreciate everything you guys have done over the years for us, too.
Thank you so much,
Absolutely.
man. Have an awesome show.
Thank you.